back, homie, cause your hair sucks. I don't mean to talk shit, I'm just being me, bro. Come to the shop and I promise you gon' see, bro. I don't need to make it sound like you a zero, but check the hairline and all your favorite heroes. Ask Trav, ask Big, Herm, Saeed. It's more because it's more than a cut, though. I swear it's more than a cut. Now grab a mirror, right after that finishing touch. Get up out the chair, you know what's up. I mean it's more than a cut, though. I swear it's more than a cut. Now grab a mirror, right after that finishing touch. Get up out the chair, you know what's up.
My day, the barber was a counselor, he was a fashion expert, he was a style coach, pimp, just general all-around hustler.
All the 66 years I lived, I said all them things a long time ago. But I say this here, I'm still pretty.
Peace, everybody. Come into the room. Come into the room. Y'all know what it is. You are watching the Supremely Faded podcast with the Supreme Style Barbers. Everybody's getting in their spaces, getting in their places. We getting ready. We're going to have a powerful conversation today, y'all. See y'all coming to the room, coming to the room. Today, we're going to do something very special because we want to talk about black male-female relationships. So, we got some estrogen in the building. We used to having all this testosterone flying around, but we got some estrogen in the building. We got Miss Sonia and Miss Rainey. Yeah. We gonna get it in. We got the Supreme Style Barbers in the building. Side B. I love you guys around here somewhere too. He hiding, but he be out here in a minute because he gotta give us the young dude perspective. Whatever that is. We got some house cleaning to do though. Before we get started, last week we had asked the question, where's DeMar Hamlin? Y'all remember that? We talked about where's DeMar Hamlin, and DeMar Hamlin showed up big time
For us.
He showed up because we called him out. We needed some proof of life. Because what they were showing us was just some flim flam. But thankfully, it appears that the brother is alive and well and thriving. We don't know what his health status is, but he does appear to be healthy. So we thank God for that.
Do you think that was him?
Supreme Style Barbers asking questions.
I'm telling you.
Do we think that was him? Why, Travis? What did you see? Because the guy that was talking, he was little. But B said because he been in the hospital.
Yeah, you get little in the hospital.
Yeah, he lost weight for sure.
And I seen
all this muscle mass. Come on, man.
No, he was on the news this morning also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's doing a campaign. He just got Tom Brady to learn CPR. He's on a learn CPR tour. So he wants people to learn CPR.
He teamed up with the American Heart Association to get people to learn CPR, which is great. And hopefully he'll get some bread from that because it looks like his football career is over.
Really?
Yeah, it looks like that's over. So brother's doing well. Brother's doing well.
Well, if y'all see him again, I'll shut up.
What else do we want to talk about, y'all? Do we want to get right into the relationship thing?
No,
Say Happy Black History Month.
the five.
Travis wants to talk about the Memphis Five.
I want to talk about.
He wants to talk about the notorious Negroes.
Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
Oh, is it Black History Month?
It is.
Oh,
That's what they told us.
the Lord.
That's every month. That's every month.
Absolutely.
Well, today we kicking it off. We're in a black business, celebrating black business. We're gonna start it off with Supreme Style.
So let's go on,
Black
check on
history.
back to slavery. Get some of this goodness.
It's Black History Month, y'all. It's Black History
This is
Month.
Black Reminder Month.
Okay, so we were all traumatized. I know I was traumatized by what I saw with regards to what those five brothers, them or Negroes, I won't even call them brothers. That was some unbrotherly stuff that they did to our brother Tyree Nichols. And then there's another brother in California that's just kind of flew by the wayside. We're not even paying attention to his story, but he was killed by the police too. His name is Keenan Anderson. But it's in the latest Final Call if y'all want to pick that up. A story about that brother as well. But CNN is talking about them Negroes in Memphis. But the streets is talking. And the streets is saying something different than what CNN is saying.
Right.
Travis been posting stories. So,
Right. That's what he's saying.
What's the latest? What's the latest?
what's the latest, Trav?
One of the brothers, what's his name? He got killed. He was dealing with
Tyree Nichols.
Tyree Nichols was dealing with. I guess brother's last name was Haley. His ex-wife. They worked at FedEx together, so he was dealing with her. So that's the backstory on why it happened. We watched it, and we were all like, something else is going on.
Right.
It looked personal.
Yeah, it looked personal.
It definitely
from jump.
looked personal.
Like, as soon as they started snatching him out the car and was calling him out his name, and like, I said, what is going on? Why? So, and then you watch the video, and towards the end, on the second time they caught him, the big brother was teeing off on him while they was holding him up.
Right.
And then he took a picture of him on the car. He
Right.
grabbed his cell phone and
He
took a picture
allegedly sent that picture to his ex-wife.
and said, "Look at your boy."
Oh my.
Disgusting. My question is, what's up with the white man that was there? Did you guys catch that?
He's the one that shot the taser.
Taser,
Right.
Yeah, but how, he
I
hasn't been arrested?
did. He's been arrested this
Oh.
morning. As of this morning,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, well,
Well, he's
Oh,
got
he
charged.
got charged?
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Because I knew they had suspended him from duties and whatnot. Okay. Wow. So the streets are saying the street narrative,
If this is
Black
true,
Twitter and Black
Yeah.
TikTok is saying
hoodnews.com.
Recording live in the track.
saying that little man Tyree Nichols was messing with one of the police
Yeah,
ex-girlfriend.
yeah.
And of course,
And he has children with her, a child with her. So you know when they throw baby mama in there.
so the policeman has a child with
Yeah.
the girl that Tyree Nichols is messing with. He pulls him over
This gets deep.
with all of his boys,
And they jumping.
and they jumping and killing
Demetrius Haley
on Demetrius Haley,
is his name.
and they kill him on live TV.
Because women have a type. And that's like from one end to another.
But when you're coming out of a marriage, you don't want that type no more.
But we still have a
When you're coming out of a
visual
marriage,
type, and that is like
when you're coming out of a marriage, you don't want that type no
night
more.
and day.
Because a lot of times when women,
I don't know.
I know a lot of women that when I see them and her hair, she cut her hair. I'm like, oh, she must have loved her.
Yeah, y'all
Yeah.
probably see that quite a bit.
Yeah, a lot. They're like, that's it. I know
I
this.
think it's true. I think it's true.
I think it's
Yeah.
true.
Well, it was definitely personal. It wasn't a traffic stop.
But just think of the lives that off of this one act that has affected. Tyree, the brother Tyree's family.
Right.
All of the brothers involved who just thought that they was just so popular, just whoop a little ass.
they are affected. You know,
The wives, yeah.
the wives,
Kids.
yeah, all of that. It's terrible, man.
Yeah.
My thing with that whole scenario was just like, how do you not see yourself? How like do you commit that heinous of a crime and not see yourself as another black man, right? So that kind of made me think like, and I've been following with the black grassroots, right? And they're just like, that wasn't an FBA move, right? That doesn't seem like regular black American. Like,
Right.
I just
They
don't
are-
think
they
you
are.
could assault a brother that looks just like
Right.
him. There's 5 of them, and so vehemently, you know, like they just went in.
They
You
in
know?
on it. Everybody's in on it.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I think they was all in on it.
I think so.
Because afterward, it was like
Celebratory.
Like that was
It was like at the end of a
like
hunt.
at the end of, you know, like, you see how I hit him? No, I hurt my leg. And, what? He was grabbing for my gun. And,
They don't play.
The thing that I hate the most is that you'll never see no brothers do this to no white boy.
No.
And George
Zimmerman is still walking around.
Right.
No.
I have said, y'all know I've been grappling with this because I just can't believe that a dude who got an issue with his ex chick, she's messing with another dude, how I could get 4 or 5 of my boys to go in with me to do something so damn weak
But Brother
and
Herm,
stupid
if 3 of
and
those
whack.
boys are his fraternal members in Omega Psi Phi,
Still.
they looking at that as this is family and we go do this.
There was some big jokers too.
But I'm saying, is the fraternal bond that strong to where you would just throw away your whole life?
I think
I
they
don't
thought
think
they
they
could
knew
get away
they
with
was
it.
I don't think they knew they was gonna kill him.
No.
They just wanted to beat him down and that was it. I don't think they had intentions.
So once because I'm not a Greek, so help me understand this. So once we become a part of this fraternity, we just don't stand on nothing. We just go whatever the brother wants to do.
I think that's how it works. I think
That's how it works?
I think so. Because if you think about it, like how many times have you even heard this working in the barbershop? Like, oh, my frat brother, we're going to go do blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Or I got in because of my soror.
Right.
So there's a camaraderie and a brother and sisterhood with it, right? So I'm assuming, but you got to also think too, remember I was saying, if they're not FBA, culturally, you don't understand that.
Right.
Right? But if they're not Black American, that's a different culture.
But now y'all in the game.
That's deep. Somebody in the
saying
chat
really
room.
easier.
Shed's a fraternity dude. Shed, comment and let us know, man. Is the frat that code where we not gonna stand on nothing? We just gonna do whatever the frat brother want to do? Like, I mean,
I don't think it's just the frat. I
It's
think
not
it's
the
just
frat.
the police
You
thing.
can't write off the whole
The
frat.
police thing
It's the
too.
police thing.
They, not only are
But they said they were
Omega
you
Psi
can't
Phi, but they
fight. They were like a special.
So we got a double type of fraternity situation
Yes.
going on. We
Yeah.
got the fraternity of being Omegas, and we got the fraternity of being
That's
police.
the good.
So we feel like we can get away with it because we're the police, no matter
was
what.
police,
You're
I've
a
been
special
on y'all's
unit
ass.
in the police.
And you're a special
But you're
unit. So you
funded.
got a triple fraternal type deal going on.
Yeah.
If I was the police, y'all think Denzel was bad. I'll be on y'all's ass.
If you remember back in the day, like the late 80s, early 90s, Q's was in this city real tough. I mean, I knew some Crips that were afraid of Q's.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
But I think when it's all said and
Some
done,
of
I
the Crips
think
was
we
cute.
can't
Right.
we can't look at it just being the frat, right? Because
Yeah.
I think that draws a bad label to them. I don't think
Yeah.
that's necessarily true.
Yeah.
You got to think, even though they are black looking, that's a system of white supremacy.
Right.
in itself.
Absolutely.
So when
Absolutely.
I think for you as Brother Herman, it's hard for you to see past that and even to make sense of it. It's not gonna make sense. The math ain't gonna math. to you no
Yeah,
matter
it
what.
doesn't make sense.
Right, but in that system of white supremacy and that ideology, of course that makes sense. Right? Of course you say, oh, we gonna get us one.
But you know, it's the levels of self-hatred that these brothers
But
have.
it's not self.
But
They don't
it
see
has to be
themselves
self
in him.
if they have to see themselves if they're looking at this.
They don't.
If you wake up and you putting on that gear,
Or maybe
like
they
it's
do.
blue.
It's blue. It's blue.
It's going down every
It's
day.
blue.
Your adrenaline got to be up every day to go do that.
Skin folk, skin folk ain't kin folk, right?
You remember the minister back in the day said, as soon as a young brother get a gun in their hand, first thing that pops in his mind, like, yeah, let a nigga.
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah. That's that mentality.
But that's self-hatred though.
But it's not.
It
self-
is self-hatred because you are.
But they
You hate this
Because you can't help but to see yourself. But because you already hate yourself, you don't have a problem teeing off on self. You know what I mean? Ultimately, psychologically, it's subconscious, right? Wow, that's deep, man. That's deep.
Yeah, that's an episode.
That's deep. But it leads right into the topic of black male-female relationships too. If this is true, if what the hood is saying is right.
Hood is always
Right.
right.
Hood is always right.
If the hood is right and exact on this one, if black Twitter is on point, man, what's that say about black male-female relationships? Especially in your generation,
I think his generation, they hate each other. Our generation, we at least we have a love-hate thing.
Yeah.
In our generation, but they hate each other. Like, they don't even slow dance. These niggas don't even slow dance. No.
That's not fair.
They don't though. They don't. They don't slow down. They don't have slow music in the club. They don't have slow music in the club.
They do not slow dance. They don't have a slow set. Hey, a slow set meant back in the day, like,
right. That's what you.
Who you was hooking up with?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, she want to slow dance. We slow dance all night.
I light up going to the club. Is that me going that hard dancing, slow dance, sweaty back field.
You get to talk to her a little bit. What you doing later? Y'all don't even do none of that. They just twerking.
Right.
They just twerking.
Exercise. Right. The Roby's class.
Okay, so I mean, this is indicative of the fact that the state of black male-female relationships, you know, is in trouble. You know what I mean? We got Sister Rainey here. How long we been married, Sister Rainey?
This year coming 7.
7 years. We got all the Supreme Style Barbers who are all married except for O. O's the young Thundercat. He hasn't settled down yet. You know, he's 28, so he good. And we got between the Supreme Style Barbers, we got about 100 children. Travis got half of them. And we got Sister Sonia, who's in the building, who had a. Sister Sonia, tell us what it was. It was a service. Tell us exactly what it was that you did on your 50th birthday. You married yourself. And tell me what was the ceremony called again? A commitment ceremony. Okay. And what made you decide to do that?
Well, of course, when you're turning 50, it's supposed to be something major. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Well, what haven't I done? And in your mind, at 50, you should be married. That's not optional for me. I want to get married. But who do I love more than myself? Nobody. So why not commit to myself and show that love to myself and how I feel about myself? There we had it. It started off with an idea and turned into a full-fledged wedding.
Okay. Now, was it your ideal, or was it something that you seen someone else do?
When I never even knew it was a thing. It's actually called sologamy.
It's called what?
Sologamy.
Sologamy.
It's a whole term. I did not know that.
Solo, G-A-M-Y.
That I know of, it's like 4 or 5 people, and they will actually all be on the Dr. Phil show.
Right.
So as I just started researching like how to commit to yourself, how to dedicate yourself, then stuff started coming up, and I was like, oh, it's a thing.
Right.
So one lady, and I think she's the first person who did it, she had a checklist, and I just started doing her checklist, like, and it was stuff like, forgive yourself for your flaws, stop looking at where you earned and where you are and what you haven't accomplished and what you have accomplished. And I'm like, well, I've accomplished a whole lot.
Right.
The only thing I haven't accomplished is getting married. So let's check that off.
Right. Saliva.
And you know, I will say that it was beautiful. That ceremony was beautiful.
They thought I was crazy.
At first I was like, Sonya's crazy. There she go, this shit. There she go. And I was like, she done went crazy all the way.
Right.
But then, like, you know, being there and seeing it, you know, seeing her sons walk around, I was like,
Right.
that right there, like, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, her and the sons, you know, the sons was like, they was rough growing up. Now they like some little men.
Right.
So I'm like, dang. And that got to me. You know, I was there. I was
Right.
I was the best
He was
man.
the best man.
Best man.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Question.
Right.
If the opportunity of marriage ever comes up, are you
And
divorced
see,
from that idea?
and see, that's a misconception that people have about sologamy. You are not saying that you want to be celibate or single forever. There are some people who did the sologamy ceremony and they are married. It's a commitment to yourself, saying that I'm going to commit to myself. So if I commit to myself and I've done the work for myself, then that's going to make me better to commit to somebody else.
Okay.
And you can't divorce yourself. So even if I was going to get married to somebody tomorrow,
Right.
I can't divorce myself.
Right.
So and that is the biggest misconception people have is that you want to be single. And to be honest, since I married myself, I done dated more in these 6 months than I have in
Right.
years. Like, so it's not that, it's doing the work. So if
Right.
the opportunity does present itself, it does, if it doesn't, but you're preparing yourself to be ready.
Okay.
So
Yes,
a
ma'am.
commitment to yourself, isn't that something that we come into this world already? Why does it need to be
And it's funny that you said that. I did the actual ceremony, but the majority of us have already did that.
Mm-hmm.
We have already done that within ourselves. I just celebrated. I just did it in public. Like,
Right.
And then again, you have to ask yourself. We say we have we really?
Right.
Have we really? But the majority, they have. They love themselves. They committed to themselves. Like, they've done the work. I just did it out there. You know, it's like people they've been married for years and they could have did a Justice of the Peace wedding. But now they want to have a big wedding. Like, they want to celebrate in front of their friends and their family. And they want everybody to see the work they've done and the love that they have. And so on and so on. So it's really different than two people. It's just
Yes.
one person.
Right.
It's a
We did that for our parents. Our
Right.
parents went just to the peace. We married 30 years. We just decided to have a big wedding.
So really, if I'm understanding, it's really more about the ceremony is really more of like a celebration of self-love. In other words, you can't love anybody more than you love your own self.
Absolutely.
And so you have to love yourself first before you
gotta
can
start with
commit
you
to
first.
anyone else.
And that anybody else, that means anybody. That means a relationship, that means a kid, that means a mama, that means everybody.
Right.
Like, you know, it was like working on to be a better friend, a better mom, a better daughter, like, et cetera, et cetera. Like, although I was, but still just like going through that process, it just was like, you saw a few things like, I can be a little bit kinder here. I can show up a little more here than when I do, because people show up all the way for me. You know, it was just little things that,
Right.
you know, I didn't notice. I noticed, but as I was like, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I'm married now.
That's clear. So if you get to dating, you ain't cheating.
Now, I dated a couple of people, and when they found that out, they weren't interested.
Did you explain it the way you just explained it to
I
us?
did. I did. But they felt that means that you're saying you want to be single for the rest of your life.
Wow.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I
like,
can see that.
and I only get that from men. Like, Ashley did. She was my officiator. She was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But I originally had a guy, and his response was, well, I was basically telling people that I want to be single for the rest of my life.
Right.
And maybe I do, but that's not the reason why I got married to myself. Like, I mean,
There she go.
I think
There she
it
go.
might be semantics, but I think when you say commitment and marriage, sometimes people don't think they're synonymous, right?
Exactly.
So I could see from a female perspective, if you said you're married to yourself, a man would just be like, never mind.
yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Because that to me would indicate you're not open.
Mm-hmm.
Versus if you said
Absolutely.
commitment, this was a vow to myself, a promise I made to myself, but we had a celebration.
Switches the lens on it.
Yes, because if you say you married to yourself, the first thing out of my head is like, ooh, that's kind of egotistical.
Yeah.
And that, from what you said,
Mhm.
is the opposite of what actually
Right.
happened, right? So I think that that's
Yeah,
a
this
part
is
of that.
way.
Part of that man-woman relationship, right, or the language that we put behind
Right.
relationships.
Absolutely.
I think that's
Right. Man. All right.
There you go. Explain.
I was wondering something. I was like, I gotta ask her. That's good. That's good. That's beautiful.
When I heard about it too, I was white with Trav. I'm like, how you do that?
Oh, he wasn't on board. My kid's father wasn't on board. My youngest son was. It was mainly men that were not on board. Like the majority.
Why do you think women were so on board?
Because they loved it. Like, because we're talking about women empowerment, we're committing to ourselves, like we're loved. So of course the women are like, yes, 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 yes. Majority of men were like, okay, well, what time I need to be?
Yeah, I did. Once I seen it, I was listening. I was like, whoa, this is dope.
Right.
This is something that comes up out of frustration.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Mm-mm.
So it was more of I'm feeling you, Sonya. It was more of an affirmation, self-love. You know what I'm saying? Which is the prerequisite to any other sort of type of love is self-love. You gotta love yourself first. So I get that, and the whole recommitment. I think the reason why men would be turned off from it is men are not as open to that sort of celebration and making something big out of something that we might feel that we should be doing already anyway. You know what I mean? So it was more of a, men's emotional IQ is just a little different. I won't say less than women's, but a little different. Just a little different. So, and there goes the baby.
Well, let's find a man to do it. We need to find a man to do it.
Right. That's what's up.
Oh.
So,
It's too young.
What you
You
think?
got
Oh?
time. You got time. Oh, take your time. I ain't getting married till I was 50.
I'm being patient with you.
you being patient with it? Oh,
Where's she at?
you got one on the hook?
Shed announced that he's in route to Minneapolis. Really good about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Shed said, I salagamy all the time.
Sologamy. He's sologamy all the time. So that's SOLOGAMY.
SOLOGOMY.
Okay. Sologamy. All right. Yeah, that's a new one. That's a new one. Sister Rainey's been married for 7 years. How we make that happen?
a lot of time and patience and a lot of self-work and grace and patience and cocktails and
Patient?
yeah, patience. Did I mention that?
Right.
Yeah.
So you in it, but the reason why, for this type of show is you got all sorts of people out there now, especially these internet gurus. Kevin Samuels comes to mind, rest in power. Andrew Tate, and it seems like there's a and it's usually coming from the male side, as far as I hear. But there's like this thing now to where black men are being pitted against black women. Black women are being pitted against black men. It's like there's this narrative that's being spun that we don't need one another, right? Is that just me?
No, that's it. Like, like television, everything is like pitted against the black man. Straight black man.
Yeah. There it is.
Everything is pitted against the straight black man.
Right. The concept of toxic masculinity.
Yeah. Like they don't want
No, please don't.
They don't want that.
Don't do it.
They don't want that.
Toxic masculinity.
That's a lot of smoke.
I'm totally feeling it.
Let's explore that. Explore that. What is toxic masculinity? I still haven't been able to figure it out, and I'm a reasonably intelligent person. Anybody know what?
I got nothing. I don't know.
No?
I think they made it up.
Just making up terms, right?
It's a new term. Ask the
Toxic
people in the chat. Maybe they'll tell
masculinity.
you.
Does anybody in the chat know what toxic masculinity is?
No, it ain't no how you get them. It's from what I've been told. Toxic masculinity is a man who is not in touch with his feminine side, a man who is, can be very disruptive with himself and others, who don't have any kind of filter the way they speak, and I'm just kind of paraphrasing on what I've been told, but I've heard of this other term, black male patriarchy.
Black male patriarchy.
I've been hearing that, and I've actually gotten into a heated argument with a sister in regards to that, black male patriarchy. And I told her that doesn't exist. I said patriarchy exists, and patriarchy forms government, civics, economics, school systems. You name me a black man who is in charge of these things.
Right.
Patriarchy elevates his woman up to his standard. How many black men do you know elevate their woman up, to their standards? And when he's in a power position. I said, when you look at the hood, when you look at our neighborhoods, it's matriarchal. Big mamas, meemaws, aunties,
right,
sisters, these things. Black men have fallen subject to these things,
Right.
So when you look at black male patriarchy, it always leads to black male abuse onto the black woman. So let's just call it what it is. And you speak it from your own experiences. You can't just generalize all black men as having this. Now, of course, we're men and we have a certain advantage in society, but also black woman has a certain advantage in society.
Right.
Because when it comes to employment, and they need to hire a so-called minority and a woman, they'll hire a black woman. They'll disregard a black man who qualifies. So this whole thing with the division with us, I wholeheartedly isn't an attack on the black family.
Right.
I had a sister in here, and she just flat out said black men hate black women.
Yep. And we don't protect them.
And we don't
That's a protection.
And we don't protect them. She's speaking from her own hurt.
Right.
She's speaking from her own experiences. Yeah. And so as she said that, and I said, you think I hate you? You think that I would? Well, no, I believe. So you can't say that about all of us. I said, I guarantee if you was to walk outside this barbershop and somebody was to grab you and jump on you, you can be sure that this whole barbershop would
be on his ass.
Right.
Will be on his ass.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I think that a lot of sisters coming to this barbershop is because I've heard many times that they feel safe in here.
Right.
They feel welcomed in here. They feel, protected in here. They don't feel like that out there. And I don't know who they're around out there. But this whole thing, this whole division thing of,
right.
And I guess when they say that a man is supposed to be in touch with his feminine side, he has to act feminine. So now I guess he's,
So if you act masculine,
where he needs to be.
Nah.
Yeah. It's interesting because I
could be wrong.
The whole concept of toxic masculinity or black male patriarchy, that don't even make sense to me. I just keep trying to figure out, okay, if you can tell us what toxic masculinity is, which they can't, what's healthy masculinity? You see what I'm saying? Which shows you that, it's some BS because they don't give you an example of what a healthy masculine man looks like.
That's true.
Man, so many questions. You said something about Saeed, you said something about advantages that we have as black men in society, and I couldn't think of one when you said it.
Interesting.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
That's what I'm talking
We play football and basketball.
Number one pick.
But it all comes with a cost.
when you look at the NBA and WNBA, they get paid more than the assistants. That might be an advantage.
But like the stories, like we was talking about the other day, stories that the NBA spins, they talk about the kid that just his mama raised him, and his daddy wasn't around.
Right.
His daddy was in jail for 13, 14 years. But then those kids that their dad was right there in their life helping them out, they never say nothing about that kid.
Right.
They don't give them nothing.
Right.
No.
That's true.
Just like which is going to the championship. What's the quarterback? Eagles quarterback.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. His dad's been there since day one. The reason
Coach.
why he coached him from day one.
You never heard that.
Is
Never heard
Is that a
anything.
black man?
Yeah.
Well, of
Jalen
course they
Hurts.
don't want that narrative.
So he's been in his life since day one. The reason why he went to college, the reason why he's a quarterback. You don't even know that Jalen Hurts has a dad, right?
Wow.
They rarely talk about Mahomes' dad. Played pro baseball.
But this morning, Kelsey brothers, they're both in the championship.
Right.
They had his mom on CNN this morning.
Right.
Talking about her boys and how they had to.
Right.
She had to coach them as a young man,
Right.
almost by herself.
That kind of narrative drives me crazy though, because there's always another side to it.
Yeah.
Right.
There's always, whether they were incarcerated, whether they, sometimes it's baby mama, baby daddy drama.
Right.
Sometimes it's using the kid as a chess piece.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I get that.
Okay.
Did anybody answer? Did we get a definition for
There's no answer.
Webster's
There's no
quiet.
answer. There's no answer.
I put the
It's not a thing.
put it in
That's
chat.
made up. And I think that's a good way to project, right? Like, let's just throw a definition on it, and we're not gonna
Leave it alone.
talk about it, right? Like, it's kind of one of those
Right.
taboo things that
Right. Yeah, there's no answer, man.
slap a label on it.
I mean, I get it, the uplifting of black women. I get it. Well, I'm tired of it.
Excuse me?
No, I'm just saying. 'Cause what's our movies? Woman King,
Woman King.
and
Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever.
We can't get them two movies.
No, I'm just saying
We can't
Wakanda
get them
Forever.
two.
But I'm saying it was like there was no men in Wakanda.
It was our time. It was our turn.
No.
Nah.
But I
you
think
not gonna have that black
said,
romance.
nah.
Not that one.
We got some heat. We got some heat.
Black romance. You gonna give us that
Oh,
one?
I think
No,
so.
we don't give y'all black romantic, but I'm saying, why would you cut the men out? of
Why we
these
can't have
movies?
why we
But-
can't just have that? Just that movie.
But I don't think it's a matter of this, like, let's give it to them, because I think that's a problem. Like, even
That-
how
that
we're
part.
talking, right? It's like, oh, we're tired of the black men, women thing, we're tired of the black men thing. It's like, where's balance?
Exactly.
Right? Like, none of us would be without balance,
Exactly.
without the feminine, masculine
That
balance.
part.
Right. So the first
That
time
part.
was full of men, masculinity. They was protecting the women. They was doing this. But then the second one, it was all women, and then they go kill Angela Bassett.
Everybody gets their time to
That's
shine.
some
Like you
BS.
said, the first one was
I can
all
see,
men.
I can see.
It wasn't
what
all
you're
men.
saying.
There was
It was the majority in the second
But it was
one.
like all
There was
armies,
more
all
balance
armies
in the
than
dog.
women.
It was
I've
our
never seen
There
like-
wasn't a male army in the second one? Oh, not in the first one either, right? Well, I think that's what Brother Herman is saying, right? And that's what we're having this dialogue.
Right.
Is that that doesn't exist, right? You don't, when you see movies, let's call it, because that's where we are, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's not a black family. Without dysfunction.
Right.
There's not a black family doesn't show a toxic relationship, right? Like somebody was saying, like, oh, the Medea movies, right? Like Tyler Perry, and I'm like, did you see the movie? Right. Did we see the same movie? Because that wasn't healthy.
Tyler Perry's against us too.
We're gonna say that for
Shit, where you at? Where you at, Shit?
Get your boy.
But I think that's what you're saying, right, Brother Herman?
Right. Like, where is the balance? Where is the ma'at, right? The Woman King, they talked about the god Mawu and Lisa, right? It's twin aspects of the god, the feminine side as well as the male side. In the Quran, we're taught that men and women are twin halves of a single being, right? So you can't be complete unless you have a woman. And a woman cannot be complete unless she has a man. So both sides have to be represented. But as things are, we're talking about movies, we're talking about narratives that are being spun in the media. There's never any balance. In fact, the contrary is true, that they're pitting one against the other, making us seem like we don't need her, or making us have some unrealistic expectations about what a woman should be. You know what I'm saying? Or what a man should be.
But it's been like that since day one.
It's gotten worse though.
But even it's worse.
Definitely gotten worse, because now the whole concept of, like, sister has her beautiful child in her arm right now. She has a husband. Now that's a strange thing in 2023.
Oh, we're strange.
That's strange. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody got two mommies or two daddies, or they binary or non-binary or whatever the hell they. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like everything is being spun in such a way to where they're really destroying, more so now than ever, the whole concept of a black family.
Yeah.
Even when we were just talking about the Black Panther movie, just like you took all of the male principles from that movie. You had the father, T'Chaka, murdered. Mm-hmm. In comes the next movie. T'Chaka murders his brother. You fast forward. Killmonger gets killed. He kills Forrest Whitaker.
Right.
Into then this new movie, we have a funeral for him. Now, I've read these comic books growing up. There's another damn Batman movie coming out. How many Batmans have we had?
1,500.
Right.
How many Spider-Mans
right.
have we had? 1,300. Why not recast this character?
Exactly.
The man.
Exactly.
No,
it's not the man. It's the black man.
It's to our brother Chadwick Boseman, but he is not
the only actor.
The only that can portray this character.
Right.
What are they trying to say? Even with, and this is my thing right here, with on the Disney Plus thing on the app, the movie Buzz Lightyear. Mm-hmm. Entertaining cartoon. I watched it with my daughter. There's no other black characters in the cartoon other than his superior,
right,
who is a woman who has a black child, but she's married to a Asian woman. Right. In the cartoon. Now, these things do happen in life, but where is the black man in this movie? Right. This other movie, Strange World. The main character, black woman, married to a white man, strong white man. They have a biracial son who is gay. He's interested in another character. Where is the heterosexual black man representation in these movies? Right. I know everybody needs to be
pronouns and all that.
Be represented. Yeah.
But who's representing black men in an effective light?
Look, my wife looked up toxic masculinity.
Oh, thank you.
Y'all ready?
Thank you.
Yeah. A cultural concept of manliness that glorifies stoicism, strength, virility, and dominance, and that is socially maladaptive or harmful to mental health. Men and women both suffer when toxic masculinity perpetuates expectations that are restrictive and traumatizing.
So a portion of that is saying just by you just being a man,
right,
something got to be wrong with you.
Something got to be wrong. I'm
Something
sorry.
gotta be wrong.
And the first word was stoic?
Stoicism, yes.
That means like don't nothing bother you, right?
Yeah, you're just like mute.
Numb to
You're
it.
mute.
That's me.
But it glorifies stoicism,
you ain't
strength.
stoic at
That's what it said. It glorifies
That is me.
stoicism, strength, virility, and dominance.
That's me.
But my thing is, stoic was the first one.
Right.
And that, usually when someone is stoic, they are quiet and silent.
Right.
So let's think about this. So the first adjective, what black man do you know is
You
quiet?
shut up.
Right.
What?
They want you to shut up.
So if you're not quiet or silent, you're toxic, right?
Wow.
That's what I took.
So she also commented. So it sounds like actually what masculinity is, but they are making it seem like it could be harmful to society,
That
which
part.
is why the crickets when you ask what healthy masculinity is.
Thank you.
And so, you know, and my daughter was, she was in a class, and that subject came up, and she was like, Daddy, this class is really bashing black men on this toxic masculinity.
Right.
thing." And I said, so what is toxic femininity then? Because we do have that, but that never goes checked.
Right.
You
Right.
have
Or labeled.
You have Cardi B giving men, slipping them certain drugs for her to take advantage of them. That's toxic. You have a lot of the content that they play. That's toxic. You know, City Girls, all these other
Right.
things like that. That's toxic on the minds of young women. So would that be?
But I wouldn't even consider
Housewives
that.
of Atlanta.
I wouldn't even
That's
consider
toxic
that
femininity.
femininity though.
Huh?
I wouldn't even
reality
consider that
TV
femininity though.
is toxic.
But that's you as a
Right.
man. You gotta see.
You know what I
that.
mean?
I
Like-
agree. But
So what
that's
is it?
not what the
So is
masses
it?
are seeing.
So is this?
Because to
Toxic.
me, femininity is being a consoler, being a comforter, being.
But if you're not that,
yeah,
you're toxic. But if that's not your thing, if you trying to come in this light of I'm sexually liberated and I can do whatever I want, but in reality it's whole activity.
yeah, that's just being a hoe, whether it be from a male point of view or a female point of view. Like,
That's the balance.
but you can't label it. You know what I mean? Femininity in any sort of way just because someone likes to have sex or they want to have sex for money. That's just nasty.
But I think that that's different. Not different, but I think what Brother Saeed was saying is like, they're so quick to project
Right.
that toxic portion.
Right.
That where's the feminine toxicity or whatever they're calling it.
Right.
Toxic
Because there is
femininity.
that.
Because it exists. But it doesn't necessarily mean like what you're saying. I don't think
Right.
it's what the masses look at that as.
Okay.
That's not criticized like
This is where
How
I'm
we
where I'm
think.
at with. This is what I've been trying to say, I guess, in terms of toxic masculinity or toxic femininity. They're both oxymorons.
So would R. Kelly
They're words
be
that
considered
shouldn't go
toxic
together.
masculinity?
No,
No,
he's
that's
just a
abuse.
pedophile. He's an
Yes.
abuser. But to be feminine, you're just feminine. It's like, give me another example of an oxymoronic term.
same difference.
Right, same difference.
Yeah.
Same difference, right? It's oxymoronic. I mean, if you're feminine, you're feminine. If you're masculine, you're masculine. There is no such thing as being toxic. You might have some sort of toxic behavior as a man, but that does not describe your masculinity.
So masculinity is the divine light of
Boom.
man.
That's the nature of a man.
Is to be masculine.
Right.
Right.
That's the nature of a woman, is to be feminine.
And I think we all
Boom.
have mental illness.
I mean, you can't be born in America without mental illness.
Not black.
Right? I think
For
every
real.
black person got mental illness.
For real.
Right.
So, yeah, man, that Man.
What kind of questions do you have, Brother Hermes?
I was just all over the place with this whole.
So what made you tell the people what made you do this particular podcast, or what do you want people to take away from this?
Well, what I would like for people to take away from it is that we need one another. That's the thing. Like I said, men, black men, we need, and I'm a stress, black men, you need a black woman. And black woman, you need a black man. We cannot do this by ourselves. That's the whole problem that we've had. And that's what the enemy did when we were first brought here, is they broke up the family. And the family hasn't been repaired since. Like, you see what I'm saying? So we continue down the same road, wondering what's wrong.
Well, we know what's wrong.
We know what's wrong.
So
we want to place blame on each other, though.
So let me ask you this, and to your point. So for those people who might say, well, like how Brother Saeed said, he had the woman that felt like she wasn't protected, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was very, very much so a projection
Right.
of how she's probably experienced abuse or something, or
Right.
lack thereof, right, of protection in her life. If someone says, well, why do I need a black man? Why do I need a black woman? What's your guys' take on that? Or what would you, being experienced, why is that the case for you? For those who, like maybe, who's not married, right? Like, we're not
Right.
asking you, but
Right.
right, in that generation, right? I'm that same generation,
Right.
but like, what would you say?
Just like any team that wins, you need a good team member. You need to be on the same goal line, you know, as far as relationships, as far as the way you're raising your kids, as far as just the way family works. I mean, everything within the structure of family goes, you know, you got to be on the same page. Or be working to be on the same page, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's understanding too. You know what I'm saying? You dating outside your race, they don't really understand what you deal with as a black man or as a black woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what's gonna cause a conflict, because like as a black man, we have fear about going outside the door, either getting killed by police, getting killed by somebody who look like us,
Right.
or anything like that, you know, and with, you know, white society, they don't see it as that. You know, so they feel free. So when you got those type of fears as a black man,
You need a certain kind of understanding at home.
Yeah, you do. You know what I'm saying? So you talk to your white wife about that. Oh,
Right.
you gotta worry, just do what they say, and it's like that's
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't conflict with you because you don't understand.
Right. That's real.
Just like off of like what O said, you know, my choice is because I love my mama, love my grandmothers, you know, and I wanted to have a continuation of that in my life. Dealing with, you know, like what you were saying, you dealing with George Floyd, that situation. I remember pulling in the driveway and I'm listening to a podcast and I'm in tears. That's the last thing I want to do is walk into a house where, other than what I went into that house.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's and I don't know what some other brothers have, because we get some of them dudes in here that just can't identify with a black woman.
Right.
Right.
Amazing.
And their mama might be blacker than 1,000 midnights. They still ain't it's not clicking for them.
Trav.
I'm not on that no more. I say like
You got to answer.
but I say like a rich. No, what I was thinking, a rich black man will take a poor black woman quick, but a rich black woman will not mess with a poor black man.
That is so not true.
I don't think it's always.
Like he has to be doing something. It used to be where I mean, you got to be doing something, but he had to be on some kind of potential to make himself better. If he didn't have the money, he had to be on potential. But if he ain't got no potential, she's not dealing with him. There's a lot of there's some women that don't have the potential, and the guy just see she fine. I just want to mess with her.
Yeah.
So he cash apping her. So that's today. That's
Right.
old living in the cash app era. Like they be like, you want to spend time with me? What they say?
Cash App.
Are you serious?
Cash App me some money so I can get some
Let's
groceries.
go out to eat. Oh, you gotta send me some grocery money first.
I'm telling
To
you.
go out to eat?
Yeah.
So wait a minute.
I'm telling you.
To hang
No,
out
I
there.
understand that. Okay,
You gotta
so
pay to
let
hang
me
out.
ask- Maybe I've been out the game a little while. And I'm 33, right? So I'm a little confused. So if you wanted to court a woman,
Right.
you have to cash up her money?
Yeah.
It's
To do
mainly
what?
dating right now is what you can do for the other person.
I'm telling
What they
you.
can get out of you.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
So what happens on a date then?
Exactly.
Saya, what them old dudes, what they talking about nowadays?
That's the problem. That's the problem. Hey, hold on. That's the problem. It's the old dudes that got it like this because they are cash apping it.
They got the
cash
money.
app.
You know what I'm saying?
They cash out.
Tricking up.
They trick. You know what I'm saying?
Sonya, are the cash apping?
I don't know. I am not asking nobody cash at me.
That's crazy.
Oh man.
But it's the social media, like they
Yeah.
that city girl stuff, that Cardi B stuff.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like most of these girls, they have that mentality.
Yes.
But you don't even have those finances. That you're not even on their same playing field.
Right.
So it's the boys
Right.
that are falling for the stuff because why the fuck you cash apping somebody that
Right.
I'm not.
Right.
Well, I
I'm not.
agree with that. I think if the women are asking, that's a problem.
Isn't that called prostitution?
Yeah, but you know, like sugar daddy, they ain't doing nothing.
They ain't doing that.
Right, they're getting the cash. They ain't just
They
changing
just
nothing.
cash.
Ain't no
Oh, I thought this was
cash-
an exchange.
Cash apping anyway.
No,
it's an
You
exchange.
have-
The old dude's cash app and O get to go over and spend the night. He get to eat the food that he
Dang, that's paying for a service. That's true.
Oh my goodness. Oh man, we done ran up
So-
on time. Look, go
So
ahead.
what's the answer? Like what? Because I'm sure you guys hear all kinds of stuff.
Love is the
Love is
answer.
always the answer.
For me
Love conquers
personally,
all.
I'm single. I'm loyal to a black man. Like,
Right.
I belong with a black man. I'm gonna be with a black man if I ever be with somebody. Because to me, everybody, back to the conversation, has turned their back on a black man.
That's what I'm talking about. Give a hand clap on that. Give a hand clap on that.
Always love.
You've been married 30 well years? How many years?
Uh-huh.
How many years you been married?
32.
Hold up.
32 years. She's 33. Right. He been married 32 years.
Yeah, I know. That's
B, you got what?
bow down.
13.
13?
You got 13.
I'm going on 8.
8, sorry, you got
14.
14. Man, that black love.
Black love.
There it is.
Black love.
Man, we're gonna have to
This
get.
is
We're
a-
gonna have to
This
continue
is
this conversation.
Me and
Look, we just now getting started, man, and we running up on time. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a part. We're gonna have to do a part 100 on this
I would
one.
like some questions though, because I think that we, with as long as everybody's been married, we're kind of in a black love days. Not saying that it's easy, but we don't know what those
Right.
folks
No, we
are
don't.
going through.
No, we don't.
We hear it every day.
Therapist.
We are here every
So what's the
day.
main complaint
even
you
us,
guys
like-
hear?
Quality.
What do you
The
mean,
lack,
like
the lack of quality that they
The women be bossing them around.
It just seems like the men and the women, they just not on the same page. In any sort of way, they both want something totally
images
different.
on what social media holds.
Yeah.
People lie about their life and project on
Yeah.
So social media
Yeah,
is
that's a huge
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, because
Big
you know,
time.
black
Big
men
time.
or just men period, we look at social media and be like, I want my woman to be like this. I want her to act like this and do this, certain things like this. And from what we see on social media, which is a false perception. Same way with women, how they look at me. I want my woman to do
Reality
this,
TV,
carry
movies,
weight
right.
like this,
Man.
you know.
Like this dude just bought his wife a car for her birthday.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, he
I
get
want
$100,000 a month off the checks.
Yolanda wants to be in on part 2 of this.
Got to.
Yeah,
You
I
got
Uncle
to.
Shalanda be bossing Brian around. B, Brian, where you at?
Listen, we gotta do a part 2, man. We gotta do a part 2 and a part 3 and a part 4 because we not gonna really get all this
Get
in.
started.
But yeah, we just now getting
We gotta
started,
build
man.
on this. The community, I think.
But y'all got something to sell? What's going on?
Sonya gonna come, Dr. Phil.
Sonya gonna be on Dr. Phil. When you gonna be on Dr. Phil, Sonya?
Dr. Phil show, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. All right. Let's Sonya on Dr. Phil show. I'm watching that.
Tuesday, okay.
I'm watching that.
Yeah.
Got to watch that. So y'all check out Sonya on. We gotta do cut of the week. Man, we haven't done that in a minute. We got little Jay Reese, little Johnny. Let's cut of the week with the high top fade. Yeah. Look, y'all make sure.
There you go.
Ooh.
There you go.
Little butter.
Y'all make sure y'all get the latest edition of the Final Call newspaper. I don't have it up there, but get the digital Final Call, finalcalldigital.com. Subscribe. Make sure these are stories that you would never hear about on CNN. The Final Call gonna have what the real before anything else has it. Trust and believe. So pick that up. Invite. I want you to come to the Nation of Islam's meeting, where your little brother Herman, is the student minister. Come to 4651 Tulsa, Sunday at 10 a.m. Cordially invited. We got some items here for sale.
We got hats. We got grease.
We got hats. We got grease. We got Scullies. We got
t-shirts.
T-shirts. We got hoodies. Go to astar2.com and shop with us. Click on the shop link. Make sure that you schedule your appointment. Do not walk in without an appointment.
Now it's real. Don't walk in here without an appointment. Do not bring your ass in here without an appointment.
No, that's good.
Don't come in here because we had a bad experience. And we don't want to do that no more.
Right.
Don't come in here.
So you
So look, we're gonna do it again, y'all. We'll do it again next Wednesday. Same black time, same black station. Part 2. Hey man, y'all take care of each other. Remember, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Peace. We'll see y'all next week.
And Memphis 5, get y'all shit together.
Get y'all stuff together. Stop simping.
My days, Barbara was a counselor.
Hey, Yolanda said no, I don't. Yolanda was talking
Because I want to see what y'all say.
Style coach. General all-around hustler.
Come get your eating.
Right.
Yolanda said, come on, Trav. This black man will be a poor white woman and let her live a life.
Isn't that something? And I think it's the reverse.
Peace, everybody. It's your brother Herman, Supreme Style Muhammad. Just wanted to drop in and let you know what we have going on. In addition to our community work that we've been doing for years, and in addition to being the sole proprietor of Supreme Style Barbershop, where we've been serving the community for close to 25 years, now we've partnered up with an insurance company called Ethos in an effort to help our people with life insurance. That's something that we all need. I know it's something that we don't want to think about, but it is something that we all need if we want to leave anything to our loved ones when we leave this space. So do me a favor, click on the link or go to our website, astar2.com, and click on the Ethos page. We'll see you on the other side.